Good morning, students. In business studies, we started the fourth chapter, that is the business services, and we finished some of the topics, that is the meaning of the business services, types of services, and in banking, types of different type of accounts, and some of the different type of banks, and what is mean by e-banking, and some of the important services which is provided by the bank, and different methods of for the e-banking services or a digital payment. Okay, so up to this topic we finished in the business services. So today we are going to start the next topic, that is insurance services. Insurance services. So first we are going to see what is meant by the term insurance. So insurance is the contract which is created between the insurer and the insured person, in which the insurer agrees to make good the loss of insured on happening of an event in consideration of the regular payment, which is called as premium. Okay, so it is a contract which is created between the two person who is called as the insurer and insured. Okay, and the insurer, it is an agreement, no, which is created between them. So the insurer will make certain amount of certain amount is paid by the insurer, which is on the basis of regular payment, which is made by him as a premium. Okay, this agreement or the contract in writing is known as the insurance policy. What is that? Insurance policy. Okay, so it is a agreement or contract. So one of the party who is agree in return, that is in paying certain amount, to pay certain amount to the another party to make the good a loss or damage or injury to something of value, in which the insured has the pecuniary interest because of some uncertain event. So who is responsible? So that person, who is the person, that is the insurer, is responsible to pay the stipulated amount as a regular payment, which is called as the premium. Okay, so it is a form of the contract or agreement in which one party agrees, so that is they agree to pay a certain amount, so in return for the consideration. What is the meaning of the in return for consideration? So they are paying if a loss or damage happen in their institution means. So if you are making the insurance on a particular asset, it is uncertain, no? So if it is happen means, if you are making the insurance on that particular asset, we can get back that amount by paying certain amount as the premium for each month. Okay, so this is the meaning for the term insurance. The next one is, what are all the functions of insurance? So the insurance will share the risk. It is the primary function of the insurance is to share the risk to which human life and property are subject to. That is sharing of risk, and it gives the protection, creates a sense of security in the life of the individuals as well as the businessman. That is creating the feeling of protecting us, because if it is an uncertain event, if it is happen means how we can able to face, that is how to overcome that loss. So if you are making certain insurance on certain asset, definitely if it is happen, we can able to face that problem, we can able to overcome that problem, that is protecting the individuals, okay, and encouraging the savings. That is, when the life policy is taken, the insured is bound to pay the premium. So we already studied that is a responsibility to pay certain amount as a premium regularly. So it is creating as the savings, okay. And next, helps to acquire the property or asset. Acquire means purchase. So in the case of the life insurance, the policy holders save a portion of their income for making the payments towards the premium to the insurer. So the policy holders means who are creating the policy on the insurance company. So from the portion of their income, they will keep certain amount as a saving in order to pay the amount of premium to the insurer, okay. And it creates the funds for the investment. So the insurance are required to maintain a large portion of the premium which is received from the insured as a reserve to pay the compensation under the contract of the insurance. So it is also that is playing as one of the financial institution like banking sector, that is receiving the deposit, utilizing the money, and they are lending the money to the borrowers. No, the same procedure they are receiving as a premium. So insurance company is receiving as a premium and they are keeping as a reserve, and they are paying certain amount as a compensation under certain contract of the insurance, okay. And it also provides for the development programs also. So large insurance at their command enable them to extend the financial help to the industrial concerns also. So they are providing the financial support to the industrial concerns to develop their programs, okay. The next one is, what are the types of insurance? Types of insurance. The first one is the life insurance and second one is the general insurance. First one is the life insurance, second one is the general insurance, okay. So first you are going to see the life insurance. So there are certain elements in the life insurance. The main elements of life insurance are the fire insurance and the marine insurance. Fire insurance and marine insurance, okay. First you are going to see what is meant by the life insurance. So life insurance is related to the two type of risk. I am right, that is risk of dying too early or risk of dying too late. This generally the people taking the life insurance policy when they have the fear of having, mainly they are having the fear of the death, okay. So they will provide for that purpose, the insurance company will provide certain amount as to support their family as a financial support. In order that is, they are providing the financial support to that certain family to take the life insurance policy, okay. Sometimes people take the life insurance policies to get the financial support and economic independence during their old age, okay. And when the people think of living too late, then to get some financial support during the old age also they will take the life insurance policy, okay. Not for the having the fear of death in the early stage, but some of the persons having the fear of the old age also. So this life insurance policy will help financially, that is improving their economical status in the old age also, okay. So in the life insurance policy, the sum which is assured is paid at the death or on the maturity period, whichever is coming earlier, okay va? So if the person dies early, his family will get the compensation amount, okay. And if the person survives, that is can get the policy amount. So if the person dies, that policy amount will received by the family members, or if the period is over, means that amount will be received by the particular person itself. Okay, so in the life insurance, the insured has to pay the fixed amount of the premium, and in return the compensation is assured at his death. So they will receive certain amount as a compensation at the time of his death or at the maturity period. Okay, and the next you are going to see about the fire insurance. So fire insurance is an insurance which is taken against the risk of loss of the property by fire. Okay, so it is a contract which is created by the insurer, and in return for the consideration they are paying, which is called as the premium. Okay, so it is return for the consideration, that is a premium which is agrees to indemnify the other party, that is the insured, for the financial loss which the latter may suffer due to the damage to the property which is insured by the fire during the specific period of that time and up to the specific amount. So in the fire insurance, this is also the contract in which the one party, that is the insurer, will agrees to indemnify the other party, that is the insured person, that is which is uncertain, that is uncertain event which is happen in the future, which is cannot be predictable, that is the fire or damages which is occurred in the business activity. Okay, so if it is then in order to face that loss, if they are making the insurance, if they are creating the fire insurance, definitely for certain amount, so the fire insurance will be specified, can be able to provide it, that is the company will provide certain amount only for the specified period of the time, only up to the specified period of the time, and only for the specified amount. That is the main point. So this contract, that is the fire insurance contract, generally contains the terms and conditions, which is known as the fire insurance policy. Okay, so what are all the terms and conditions? That is, the fire insurance policy contains the name of the parties and description of the insured property, so details of the property, and the sum, that is amount for which the property is insured, and the amount of the premium which is payable by that particular holder, and the period against that property. So what are all the information? First one is the name of the parties, description of the insured property, and amount or sum for which the property is insured, and amount of the premium which is payable by the policy holder, and the period, which is the period of the insured property. Okay, so generally the period of insurance is 1 year only. Okay, va? So some of the important, all the principles of insurance are applicable. So next we are going to study about the principles of insurance. So in this fire insurance, all the principles of insurance are applicable. Okay, va? Keep in mind. All the principles of insurance are applicable on the fire insurance. Okay. The next you are going to see the marine insurance. What is the marine insurance? That is, it is defined as an arrangement. Under which the insurer undertakes to indemnify the insured in the manner and to the extent thereby agreed against the losses which has happened in the ship. Okay, va? That is the marine risk. What are all the marine risk? That is capture, sinking of the ship, storm. Okay, these are all some of the marine risk which is faced by that particular concern. Okay, so the businessman can get his ship insured by paying the premium which is fixed by the insurance company. So this is also the contract which is created between the insured and the insurer. So the insured may be the cargo owner, or he may be the ship owner, or he may be the freight receiver. Freight is one of the expenses. Okay, so the insurer is known as the underwriter. The insurer is called as the underwriter. So the insured will pay the particular sum which is called as the premium. For all the insurance, the policyholder is liable to pay certain amount as the premium. For what purpose? In exchange of an undertaking for the insurer to indemnify the insured against the loss or damages which is caused by certain risk. It is uncertain. Okay, so the marine insurance is nothing but there is also a contract which is created between the insured and the insurer, and the insured may be the cargo owner or ship owner or freight receiver. Okay, so other name for the insurer in this insurance is called as the underwriter. Okay, and next, so there are different types of the marine insurance policy. Different types of marine insurance policy. The first one is cargo insurance, hull insurance, freight insurance. Okay, the first one is the cargo. So this form of marine insurance include the cargo or the goods which is contained in the ship. That is the personal belongings of the passengers. That is their package. That is their luggages. Okay, va? Next one is the hull insurance. That is in this type of insurance, the whole ship can be insured. So it covers the insurance of the vessels and the equipments which is used in the ship, and furnitures and fittings, tools and machineries, fuel, engines. So all these are included in this insurance, in this type of insurance. And third one is the freight insurance. So this insurance will provide protection against the loss of the freight. Loss of the freight. Freight means that is the goods. So in many cases the owners of the goods pay the freight. That is, freight means it is one of the expenses. Okay, so the owners of the goods will pay the freight only when delivery of the goods is secured on the harbor. Okay, so if it is properly delivered in the harbor, who is liable? The owner of the goods are liable to pay certain amount which is called as the freight. It is one of the expenses for that owner of the goods. Okay, this is the freight. So if the ship is lost or damaged or theft during the time of the traveling, the company will lose the right of taking the freight. Okay, so the hire is insured for protection against the risk of losing a freight. So some of the main elements of the marine insurance are the insurable interest should be present at the time of loss, and the contract of the marine insurance is also the contract of utmost good faith. So utmost good faith is one of the principle of insurance. Okay, va? So this marine insurance is also the contract of utmost good faith. So it is one of the principle of insurance. And the principle of indemnity. So another principle of insurance is principle of indemnity. It is also strictly applicable in the marine insurance. Okay, so the compensation is paid only when there is the loss which is due to some of the marine risk. Okay, so the another principle of insurance is doctrine of causa proxima is also the another principle of insurance. Doctrine of causa proxima is another principle of insurance which is applicably or strictly followed in the marine insurance. So There are three types of principles of insurance which is strictly applicable in the marine insurance. What are all they? First one is the contract of utmost good faith. Second one is principle of indemnity. And third one is doctrine of causa proxima. These are all the three important principles of insurance which is strictly followed in this type of insurance, that is the marine insurance. Okay, and these are all the some of the insurance policies. What are all the insurance policies? Motor insurance, third party insurance, employers liability insurance, fidelity insurance, personal accident insurance policy, health insurance, and burglary insurance. So these are all the different types of policies, insurance policies. Next we are going to see the important heading, that is the fundamental principles of insurance. Fundamental principles of insurance. Okay. So the first one is the utmost good faith. What is the first one? Utmost good faith. It is one of the main principle of insurance. This insurance contract are based upon the mutual trust and the confidence which is created between the insurer and the insured. So it is the condition of every insurance contract that both the parties, that is the insurer and insured, must disclose every material fact and information which is related to the insurance contract to each other. So this principle of insurance is based upon the mutual trust and confidence which is created between the two persons, that is insurer and insured. So while creating the contract, both the parties must disclose every material fact and all the information which is related to the insurance. So all this information will be contained in that insurance contract which is created by the two person. Okay, next one is principle of insurable interest. Principle of insurable interest. So according to this principle, the insured must have an insurable interest in the subject matter of the insurance policy. So the insured person must have an insurable interest in the subject matter of the insurance policy. Without interest, taking an insurance policy is definitely the fraud, that is a fraudulent activity or a misleading activity, and they will without the permission of the government law. There is some of the problems which is created between the two persons without having any interest on the policies. Okay, so in case of the life insurance, the insurable interest comes with the relation of insured with the person taking the insurance policy. I am right. So only by having the interest of creating the contract between the two person, definitely at the time only the contract will become the fully completed contract. Okay, ma'am? For example, if the person has taken the loan against the security of the factory premises, then the lender can take the fire insurance policy of that factory without being the owner of the factory. I am right, because he has the financial interest in that factory premises. Even if he is not the owner of that factory, but he is having the financial interest in that factory premises. So the person can take can able to make the contract with the insurance company, and he is liable to take the fire insurance policy. Okay, ma? Next one is, that is the insurable interest. Okay, next one is principle of indemnity. What is the principle of indemnity? According to this principle, insurance is not the contract of making the profit. It is not the not having the main aim of creating the profit. So what is the main purpose? That is to bring back the insured in the same financial position as he was before the loss. Okay, so the objective of contract of insurance is to compensate to the insured for the actual loss which he has incurred during the business activity. That is the main aim of this principle of indemnity. That is not the contract of making the profit, but it has the main aim of bringing back of the person, that is the policy holder, in the same financial position. Okay, for example, if the person insured his factory for the 2 lakhs against the fire, due to the fire he suffered a loss of rupees 1 lakh, then the insurance company will compensate him rupees 1 lakh only and not the full policy amount of 2 lakhs. Because what is the reason? Because the purpose of the insurance is to compensate for the loss and not for the earning profit. Okay. The next one is principle of subrogation. Principle of subrogation. So according to this principle, after paying the compensation, the insurer steps into the shoes of the insured. That is, when the insured is compensated for the loss or the damage to the property which is insured by him, the right of the ownership of such property passes on to the insurer. Okay, so this is also the main principle, that is it is also the main principle, that is the principle of indemnity, because once the compensation is given later, if insured realizes some money by the sale of damaged property, that will bring the profit for him, and the insurance is not the contract of making the profit. Okay, so after paying the compensation, what is the role of the insurer? So insurer will steps into the shoes of the insured. So that is, the insured is compensated for the loss or the damage to the property. The right of ownership of such property will pass on to the insurer. Okay, that is the principle of subrogation. For example, if the person has taken the fire insurance policy for his factory, due to the fire he suffered the loss of rupees 1 lakh and he gets the compensation for the same. Later on, after some time, the half burst goods, that is the half of the goods which is burned on the fire, were sold for 10,000. Then this 10,000 will be kept by the insurance company and not by the insured. Okay, because the insured has already got the full compensation for that particular loss. I am right. So if the person is if the person is getting the full compensation for the loss of that particular goods which is damaged due to the fire, then he is liable only for that particular amount. But after a certain period, if the goods which is damaged, if there is any damaged goods, and if they are selling the goods for certain amount, that amount will be received only by the insurance company and not by the insured person, because the insured person has already got the full compensation amount for that particular loss of that product. Understood? This is the principle of subrogation. Okay. The next one is contribution. What is my contribution? So this principle of contribution is somewhat different on the principle of indemnity. Okay, sometimes a person may get his goods insured with 2 or more insurer to cover the same risk. It is called as a double insurance. So the principle of contribution applies to all the double insurance contract. Okay, so in order to compensate the loss, if the policyholder making the insurance with 2 or more insurer, in order to cover the same risk, the risk is only one, but in order to cover that loss, if he is making the policy with 2 or more insurer, it is called as the double insurance. Okay, va? So according to this principle, if the person has taken more than one insurance policy for the same subject matter, then all the insurer will contribute the amount of loss and compensate him for the actual amount of loss. Okay, for example, if the person gets his house insured against the fire for the 1 lakh with the insurer A and for rupees 50,000 with the insurer B. A loss for if a loss of 75,000 is occurred in the fire means then the A is liable to pay the 50,000 and B is liable to pay 25,000. Okay, so there is a separate formula to find out the amount. If it is a double side insurance and the actual amount of insurance is 1 lakh. Okay, so it is the insured person, there is a two person A and B. So with the insurer, that is A is the insurer who is liable to pay rupees 1 lakh and B is another insurer who is liable to pay rupees only 50,000. But the loss of rupees 75,000 is occurred in the business activity, and in this case we have to find the amount of compensation which is received from the insurer A and what is the amount of compensation which is received from the insurer B. So formula is sum assured with the particular insurer into actual loss divided by total sum insured. So as per this formula, what is the amount which is with a particular insurer? For example, if the amount which is compensated, which is liable for the person A is 1 lakh, I am right. What is the total amount of the insurance? From A it is 1 lakh and from the B it is 50,000. So the total amount is 1 lakh 50,000. Okay, so first you have to find out what is the amount which is compensated from the insurer A. The formula is amount which is the amount which is liable from the insurer A divided by total amount of insurance into actual loss. So from as per this formula, first you are going to calculate for the partner A. Okay, so for A, so what is the amount which is liable for the insurer A? That is, he is liable to pay 1 lakh. So divided by total amount of insurance. So A 1 lakh, B 50,000. B is another insurer who is coming forward and with the insurance amount of 50,000. Total amount of insurance is 1 lakh 50,000 into actual amount of loss. What is the actual amount of loss? That is 75,000. Okay, 75,000. So in this way we can able to, so amount is 50,000. Amount is 50,000. So this is the amount which is compensated from the insurer A. So in the same way we have to find the amount for the B. Okay, so for the B equal to, what is the amount for the for the B who is liable to pay the insurance? That is 50,000. 50,000 is the amount where the B is liable to pay divided by total amount of insurance is 1 lakh 50,000 into actual losses 75,000. This is the formula. Okay, so how to calculate the total insurance? That is, A, he is liable, that is he is giving the insurance of 1 lakh and B is the another insurance, he is giving the insurance for 50,000. So total is 1 lakh, that is the 1 lakh 50,000. Okay, so in this, after calculating 25,000 is the amount which is compensated from the insurer B. Okay, this is the principle of contribution. Okay, and the next one is principle of mitigation of loss. Principle of mitigation of loss. So what is the principle of mitigation of loss? That is, according to this principle, So as per this principle, the insured must take care of his property or the subject matter of the insurance in the same way as he would take care, that is without taking the insurance policy. So without taking the insurance policy, the insured person must take care of his property or the subject matter of the insurance. That is, the insured should not become the careless of his property after taking the insurance policy. So it is a duty of the insured person to make a reasonable effort in order to safeguard his insured property. That is called as the mitigation of loss. For example, if the person has taken the fire insurance policy for his house, and when the fire breaks out, he should take all the measures to stop the fire and minimize the loss rather than watching the fire, because he will have the more confidence, that is we can able to get the compensation from the insurance company. So in this principle of mitigation of loss, the insured person must take care of his property. Okay, this is the main feature of this principle of insurance, that is mitigation of loss. The last one is principle of causa proxima. Causa proxima. So according to this principle, the reason for the loss must be related to the subject matter of the insurance contract. So the reason or the causes for the loss must be related, that should be the relationship to the subject matter of the insurance contract. If the loss is due to some other reasons, then the insurer will not pay the compensation amount to the insured person. Okay, for example, if the person has taken the marine insurance policy for sending the wheat bags, and on the way if the rat spoiled the wheat, then no compensation will be given from the insurer to the insured person. Because what is the reason? Because under the marine insurance, the causes of the loss should be the marine risk and not the rat. Okay, that is the main reason. So the reason for the loss must be related to the subject matter of the insurance contract. So this principle is called as principle of causa proxima. Okay, so these are all the important principles. What is the first one? Principle of indemnity. Next, first principle is the principle of utmost good faith. Second one is insurable interest. Third principle is principle of indemnity. Next one is the principle of subrogation, principle of contribution, principle of mitigation of loss, and principle of causa proxima. Okay, so next topic is communication. So next class we will study about the what are all communication services. So communication services, there are two types: postal services and telecom services. So these two topics we will see in the next class. So today we studied about the very important topic, that is insurance services. What is by insurance? What are all the important principles of insurance? A very important topic. And what are all the types of insurance? What is by life insurance? And two types of element of life insurance are fire insurance and marine insurance. And so these are all the topics we covered in this today's class. Okay, thank you students.